You think you know Halloween, right? Yeah, you've got your costume ready, the candy bowl is filled, and your pumpkin, it's carved. But what if I told you that's just one small piece of a much larger, much spookier puzzle? Well, around the entire world, the end of October is filled with traditions that are way more bizarre and bone-chilling than just asking for candy. Did you know that in some places, kids sing for the souls of the dead? Or that your future husband could be hiding in a slice of cake? Oh, what? Yeah, forget what you think you know. Now this video is actually a request from my good friend Owen in San Diego, California. Hey Owen! Owen said this: do you remember the video about all the Easter celebrations around the world? Can you do the same thing for Halloween? Well, Owen, I certainly remember the Easter video, and I think we can help you out. So today, for Owen, we are counting down 10 spooky Halloween traditions all around the world that kids can't believe are actually real. Let's go! Coming in at number 10, we're in Austria. While they have modern pumpkin festivals called Kubersfest with costumes and parades, there's a much quieter and creepier tradition linked to this time of year for All Souls Week. On the night before All Souls Day, some families leave out bread, water, and a lit lamp on their table before going to bed. But why is that? Well, it's to welcome the souls of the dead back to Earth. It's a gesture of hospitality for any wandering spirits. Imagine being a kid in that house knowing that you set a place at the table for a ghost. Now this is a quiet, eerie tradition that reminds everyone the veil between worlds is super thin. Next, let's head back to the Netherlands for a tradition that looks a bit like Halloween, but is something entirely different. On November 11th, Dutch children celebrate Sint Maarten, or St. Martin's Day. Instead of these plastic pumpkin buckets, kids carry homemade lanterns, often carved from sugar beets or turnips. They walk through their neighborhoods after dark, singing special songs at each door to get treats. It sounds sweet, but picture this. A group of kids suddenly appears at your door holding glowing, ghoulishly carved turnips and singing in the dark. It feels like something straight out of an old, forgotten fairy tale. Next, let's head over to Japan. Halloween here is a massive deal, but probably not how you imagine. Trick-or-treating is actually pretty rare. So instead, it's all about mind-blowing costumes and huge street parties, especially in cities like Tokyo. Oh, wow! But one of the most unique and surreal things to emerge is the Halloween train. This isn't an official scheduled event, but more of a spontaneous, sometimes unsanctioned party. Entire train cars can get taken over by people in full costumes. Zombies, spirits, and creatures from Japanese folklore, creating a moving party on the rails. Can you imagine just getting on your usual train home and the doors slide open to reveal a car full of silent, costume figures just staring back at you? It is a modern twist that perfectly blends the everyday with the creepy. At number 7, Dia de la Mascarada in Costa Rica. On October 31st, they celebrate Dia de la Mascarada, or Day of the Masquerade. This is a vibrant parade where people wear enormous, handcrafted papier-mâché heads called mascaradas. These larger-than-life masks can be devils, historical figures, or characters from local legends. With lively folk music playing, these giant figures dance through the streets, sometimes chasing festival goers. The tradition traces its modern roots back to the late 19th century and feels like a chaotic, colorful dream come to life. Seeing a 10-foot tall devil dancing towards you is a Halloween memory that you won't forget. Long before pumpkins took over Halloween, people in Somerset, England were carving something much creepier. On the last day of October, kids celebrate Punky Night, an ancient tradition where they carve spooky faces into large turnips or mango wurzels. They parade through the village with these glowing punkies, singing songs and asking for money or candles. All right, we're only halfway through this video and things are already getting weird. From ghostly dinner guests to turnip carving, it's clear that Halloween is full of surprises. Now, if you're enjoying this trip into the unknown, then do us a favor, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like, and ring the notification bell so that you don't miss our next video. We've still got 5 more traditions to go, and believe me, they get even wilder. Let's go. Number 5, Dia das Bruxas in Portugal. Now we're in Portugal and Halloween is often called Dia das Bruxas, or Day of the Witches, thanks to modern American influence. But a more traditional custom is still alive and well. On November 1st, All Saints Day, children go door to door. But instead of asking for candy, they ask for pão por Deus, which means bread for God's sake. In return, they're given small breads, fruits, or nuts. The day is also about remembering the dead, as families visit cemeteries to clean the graves of their ancestors and decorate them with flowers and candles. It's a tradition that beautifully merges a trick-or-treating style outing with a deep respect for those who have passed on. Number 4, Parilletes gigantes. This next one is less about jump scares and more about being absolutely breathtaking. In Guatemala, on November 1st, communities celebrate the Day of the Dead by flying parilletes gigantes, or giant kites. And I do mean giant. Now, these kites can be over 50 feet wide. They are made from paper and bamboo and take teams months to build. They are flown in fields next to the cemeteries with the belief that the kites serve as a connection between the living and the dead. The sound of wind whipping against the paper is said to scare off unfriendly spirits, while the kites send messages to ancestors in the heavens. It turns the sky into a stunning, colorful tribute to lost loved ones. Number 3, Dia de los Muertos. Now, many of us have heard of Mexico's Day of the Dead, or Dia de los Muertos, especially if you've seen the movie Coco. Hey, Coco. Coco! Ha! But its traditions are so much deeper than just colorful skulls. Celebrated over several days, it is a time for families to honor their deceased relatives and welcome their spirits back for a visit. Now, families build elaborate altars, often called ofrendas, loaded with their favorite foods, drinks, and photos of the departed. What's so unbelievable for many is how death is treated, not with fear, but with love and celebration. People paint their faces as elegant skeletons, believing this helps the living blend in with the spirits who are walking the earth. It is a vibrant, emotional, and beautiful celebration of life itself. Number 2, Pananalulua. All right, now picture this. You're in the Philippines and there's a knock on your door on Halloween night. You open it, but instead of trick or treat, you hear a group of children wrapped in white blankets singing eerie hymns. This is Pananalulua, a traditional Filipino custom still practiced in some rural areas. The children represent lost souls from purgatory, and they go from house to house singing for donations to pay for masses for the dead. The tradition comes from the belief that the gates between worlds open on this night, allowing souls to visit their loved ones. It transforms the night from one of fear into a hauntingly beautiful act of community and remembrance. Number 1, Samhain and Barmbrack cake. And now for our number 1 spot, we are going to the very birthplace of Halloween. Over to Ireland and the ancient Celtic festival of Samhain. Samhain marked the end of the harvest and the start of winter, a time when the boundary between our world and the spirit world was at its absolute thinnest. But the spookiest tradition isn't about ghosts, it's about your future. A traditional Halloween food is Barmbrack, a type of fruitcake. What kids can't believe is that this cake supposedly tells your fortune. Baked inside are several small items, a ring, a coin, and a piece of cloth. Find the ring, and you'd be married within a year. Now the coin meant wealth was coming, but finding the cloth was a bad omen, signaling poverty or bad luck. It's a divination game baked into a dessert, turning a simple slice of cake into a thrilling and terrifying glimpse into your destiny. Is that it? So there you have it. 10 traditions that prove there's a whole world of spooky customs out there. From fortune-telling cakes in Ireland to giant kites that speak to the dead in Guatemala. These traditions remind us that Halloween is about so much more than a sugar rush. It's a time when people across the globe connect with their history, honor their ancestors, and stare into the great unknown. So, which of these did you find the spookiest? And are there any unbelievable traditions from your part of the world that we missed? Let us know in the comments below. We would love to hear your stories. Thanks for watching and have a happy and spooky Halloween. We'll see you next time. Bye!